Podcasting in GarageBand. Part 6. Enhancing. Use earphones as much as possible. You can have the volume as loud as you like, without disturbing other people. Your standard earphones for iPod, iPhone, smartphone, and MP3 player will work fine. You can add background music and sound effects to your podcast to help engage your audience. You can also make your own background music using Magic GarageBand. To add background music and sounds, click on the loop browser at the bottom right. Click on Jingles for Music, and then on a Jingles category, click on a track in the list to make a selection, and again to hear. To stop the loop playing, just click it again. To use a loop, click on the icon to the left of the name of the loop, and drag it up into the space under your voice track. To make its own track, do not drag the background music into any other track. To use this music loop as an intro, select your track by clicking on the icon to the left of the male radio noisy. Drag the red line playhead along the ruler at the top to about 5 seconds. You can see the exact time down the bottom in the middle. Select your voice track by clicking on the icon to the left of the male radio noisy, and drag your clip along so that it lines up with the playhead. It should look like this. Now, you can hear the music before your voice starts. The volume of the music track should go lower as soon as you start speaking. This is called ducking, and happens when any track with a blue tag meets a track with a yellow tag, which is usually your voice track. Otherwise, the background music would drown out the more important voice track. To preview sound effects, click Sound Effects, and make your selection in the same way as for jingles. To add a sound effect, click on the icon to the left of the name of the sound effect, and drag it up into the space under your voice track. To make its own track, do not drag into any other track. To hear your enhanced podcast, click on a button to go back to the start. Next, click play. Save your project. Try the keystrokes, Command+S at the same time. You can also make your own music using Magic GarageBand. Here's how. Open GarageBand, and choose Magic GarageBand. Choose a style of music. GarageBand will now load a band in that style of music. When you can see the band, you can preview the song by pressing the space bar. It's fun to choose your instruments. Here's how. Choose each instrument, one at a time. So, click on the guitar, and choose the type of guitar from the choices under the band. Choose the other instruments in the same way, one at a time. Finally, do not choose the grand piano, because that's for when you want to connect your own instruments such as a keyboard or a microphone. When you are finished, choose Open in GarageBand. After a short time, you will see your choice of instruments in the style of song you selected. Press the space bar to play your music. It's a good idea to rename your song, because you might make a lot. In the File menu, choose Save As. Use your first name at the start, and save in the GarageBand folder. To use your song in your podcast and your movies, you need to export it. This will mix down the multiple tracks into one track for music players such as iTunes. Choose Share in the menu bar, and then Export Song to Disk. Accept the settings, and then click Export. To find your song, go to the Finder, hold down the Command key, and press the Tab key until you highlight Finder. Click on the Music folder on the left, and then GarageBand. Click on the arrow next to GarageBand to see inside the folder. You should see your Magic GarageBand song at the top. If the date modified word is highlighted, you can copy your song onto USB, or email to yourself, so that you can have it at home, on your iPod, on your iPhone, and give to your friends. If you double-click your song, it will play in iTunes. Then, you can easily import it into your podcast as your background music. In your GarageBand podcast, click the music note icon in the bottom right corner. After the spyglass, type the file name of your Magic music beginning with your first name. When you see it in the list, drag the icon before the name up into the space under your voice track. To make its own track, do not drag into any other track. You may need to drag it to the start, if it imports a little way in. To hear your enhanced podcast, click on a button to go back to the start. Next, click play. Save your project. Try the keystrokes, Command+S at the same time. This is the end of enhancing. In Part 7, learn about adding pictures and titles. This podcast is also on YouTube. Search on lowercase Michael capital L lowercase Cowling.